Sixth graders, this video is to help you with question number 7 on your CR number 2. It says, Martina was given the following problem. 4 and 276 thousandths plus 14 and 53 hundredths. She promptly gave an answer of 5 and 729 thousandths, which is a mistake. Oh yes, that wouldn't make any sense, everybody. 4 and 14 gets us to somewhere near 18, which was a mistake. What was Martina's procedural error? What rule can you explain that would prevent Martina from making the same mistake in the future? I wonder. I know when we have to add decimals, we need to line up our place values. So line up place values. So if I look here and I have 4 and 276 thousandths, I know with this 14, if there's a 4 here in this ones place, it needs to go right beneath this 4 with this ones place. So then I do 1, and then underneath that 4 is the 4 from the 14 in the ones place. In the tenths place, I need to have a 5. In the hundredths place, I need to have a 3. And then I can always add a 0 here in the thousandths place, and it won't change the value. The key to adding decimals is to line up your place values. And now that my place values are lined up, my thousandths place is lined up, my hundredths place is lined up, my tenths place, my ones place, my tens place, I can now just go ahead and add these numbers. 6 and 0 is 6. 7 and 3 is 10. Put down a 0, carry a 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8, and then 1. And there's my decimal point I brought right down. And I knew if it was 4 plus 14, our answer had to be somewhere around 18. So the correct answer is 18 and 806 thousandths. Now it says, what was her procedural error? I bet you she forgot to line up her place values. What rule can you explain that would prevent Martina from making the same mistake in the future? Okay, so our rule is when you add decimals, make sure you line up the place values. Ones place underneath the ones place, the tenths place underneath the tenths place, and so on. Ones place, tenths place. Oops. And so on. And if you line up those place values, your thousandths place gets lined up, your hundredths place, your tenths place, your ones place, your tens place, you're guaranteed to come up with the correct answer. Some people like to, the rule some kids say is make sure you line up your decimal points, and that works out. That will line up the place values. So if you say line up your decimal points, that's fine also. I bet you she did not line up her place values or her decimal points. I bet you she did something like this. I have no idea. I'm making this up. I bet you she did 4.276, and I bet you she put 1 underneath the 4, and then, I don't know, that 4 underneath that 2, and then that 5, that 3. I bet you that's how she came up with 5 as an answer. Ooh, that is not good. So she forgot to line up her decimal points or line up her place values. And if you do that, if you remember always to line up those decimal points or line up your ones place, your tenths place, and so on, then you're guaranteed to get the right answer. I hope that helped.